hype about living the dream? It's time for truth. This is the place for tools, power, and real talk so you can create the life you dream and deserve. Your ultimate life. Subscribe, share, create. You have infinite power.
Hello, welcome to Your Ultimate Life today. I'm excited. I'm super excited. You know, yesterday I had the opportunity to interview a couple of really good guests that are going to be coming out here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. One of them was a high-powered coach that trains other coaches. And, you know, there used to be a lot of noise about that. Oh, you know, those who those who can do and those who can't teach or coach. Not true. Not true. I want you to think about a question. And that is this. If you, just you, forget everybody else, if you showed up as your best self, not blaming anyone, in a good mood, with power in your body, power in your heart, your doubts cast aside, with full confidence and capability every day, if you showed up that way, no matter what you were doing, even if you were playing, but going to work, being in your family, if you showed up that way with superpower every day, how would your day go? Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out you'd have an outrageous day. If you showed up at 100% capability, 100% power every single day, you'd crush it. I mean, crush your goals, crush your money, crush your income, crush your relationships, crush loving yourself, crush your physical stuff. You do that. And you know it, and it's obvious, and duh. And so then the question is, why don't we? And the first answer is, well, we can't do that. And that's how we live. We can't do that. That's not true. So I'm blowing that myth out of the water. You can be at 100% every day. You absolutely can be that. Okay? And that is regardless of what goes on around you. Now, I'm not pretending things don't happen. Of course they do. So if I'm at 100% and a jet engine falls on my house or something breaks, then I'm at 100% solving a problem I didn't want to have. But I'm still at 100% solving it. So the goals that I had for the week, of the month, of the year don't move ahead. But I'm better at solving the problem, better at finding the opportunities, better at lifting and blessing others. I'm better at every single thing that I do when I'm at 100%. And you know that. So then the next phrase is, well, if it doesn't depend on stuff around me, like how my boss acts or my partner or the weather or the government or the economy, if it doesn't depend on that, meaning my being at 100%, people say, well, I can't be in a good mood because of this crap that happened. And that's what I'm calling out nonsense. You own it, you control it every day, all the time, no matter what. Okay, then the next excuse is, well, nobody can do that. You can't be at 100% every day. And that's another thing I'll call out. Yes, you can. Because getting to 100% your best mood, your best capability, your best insight, your best wisdom, your best creativity, that depends 100% on you. So often we think of being in flow state or super creative or super powerful or super capable as something that happens accidentally once in a while. What if I told you you can have it all the time? Now, it's not a pill, and you don't snap your fingers. You don't pop a limitless pill and suddenly NZT or whatever that was. You know, that isn't the key. The key is you own the controls. Most people have not taken the effort or energy to learn to control themselves, their mind, their spirit, their body. They haven't. And consequently, if we do that, we are victims of our own lack of control. So that's like driving a car with no thought, no hand on the steering wheel and not looking out the windshield. You just cram on the gas and brake and go wherever it goes. That's what we're doing with our lives. We're just cramming on the gas and going. And then, of course, things don't work out well. Of course, it feels like we're at the mercy of others and circumstance and stuff. I can make you a promise. If you choose, and it is a choice and it is work, but if you choose to take the effort to own your life, to own all the controls, learn how to control your thinking and your feelings and your actions and your aspirations and your goals and your self-image, you can have anything you want. You can have anything you want. You can have anything you want. And you can laugh at me. I've created that. I've helped others create it. The people I interviewed yesterday, 2 great people, They are helping clients and people create that without question and without exceptions. And they don't have magic powers any more than you do. You do have magic powers. You're just not using them. So that is the foundation of Your Ultimate Life podcast and the truth of living your ultimate life. Like, you can create a life of purpose, prosperity, and joy starting today, for wherever you are, no matter what's going on around you. If you'd like to know how, let's talk. Get a hold of me. The website on the screen, KellanFluckigerMedia.com. Go there. It shows a bunch of books and things that I've done, but there's also a way to get a hold of me. Let's have a conversation. Because if you're yearning to have a life you love, a life you design, doing what you love, making the money you want, creating the impact you want, you can have it if you're willing to walk the road. Today is the 7th of 7 episodes on building business or creating a business. Often, building your own life, doing what you want, depends or seems to depend or is part of having a mission or a purpose, or doing what you want in the world, using your gifts, your talents, your life experience, following your passion, however you want to describe that. And then we have the story that, you can't really do that. You got to have, some other job. Not true. Well, if it's true, if you let it be true. So I've done these 7 episodes, and this is number 7. Episode number 1 was a general episode on building a business. That was number 930. 931 was about developing a growth mindset, meaning believing you can grow. 932 was about finding your own value proposition, finding what you have that's valuable, that's 100% different than anyone else. I don't care if 2 people do the same thing. They don't, because they're different people. They have different experiences, different voices, different understanding, different methods and techniques, and so it's different. Finding yours is the key to big success. The 4th one was creating products and services. So if you're going to have a business and you're going to do business in the marketplace, you got to have something to offer. I know that sounds like stupid simple, but most people don't do a very good job. They don't dimensionalize their products. They don't show what they really offer. Okay. The next one was marketing and finding prospects. And there's a lot of steps. That's why we did a whole episode on each of these, identifying and finding the people that need your voice and your version of that service that 5,000 other people may be offering. The 6th one, the last one before this one, was closing deals. Like, how do you close deals? You just put out a shingle and people buy, face-to-face convos. A lot of that depends on the product and the price point and what the product or service is. Today, we're talking about growth strategies. So all these build on each other. If you've done all the others, then it's time to talk about how to grow, because you have turned pro the minute you make your first sale. So if you've done those things and you've created a product or service and you've dimensionalized it and you know what you offer and you know how much it is and you know how to explain its value and people see it and they buy, you're a pro. You've turned pro. You're done. Now you're in the game of growth. How do I find more people? How do I streamline procedures and processes? How do I make it grow faster? How do I not only trade time for dollars, because that's just having a job, right? But also create products and services that create evergreen things or passive income. All of those growth strategies are essential as you've turned pro, you've made your first sale, and you're trying to make a bigger dent in the marketplace, help more people. My first year of, I have a numeric goal this year of reaching 300 million people. My first year was 10 million. And I accomplished that goal that year. My year goes from October 14th to October 14th. And in September that year, I was on a podcast, someone else's, and it was about an hour or 45 minutes or something. And at the end of that time, the host said, you need a bigger number. He knew about my 10 million goal, and I was curious. And I said, why? And he said, because I've been on this show with you for an hour, and you have changed my life. And I'm going to talk to at least 1,000 people this week. You need a bigger number. So that was real encouragement. We set a bigger goal at 50 million the next year, and we reached 75. We set a goal of 250 last year, and we didn't reach that. We reached about 150. This year, the goal is 300. But in order to do that, this is about growth strategy. So how am I going to grow from 10 to 50 to 150 to 300? Well, we're going to talk about different ways that you can grow. Okay, you can grow your business. Now, this episode makes the most sense when you've got the others done. So don't, skip those and just go right to growth strategies, because if the others aren't solid, you're going to fall down. You're building on a sandy foundation. So there's 4 different ways to think about, there's more than this, but there's at least 4 ways to think about growing. One is getting new customers. Getting new customers means you got to go in front of more people. You got to fish in different places that are more dense, have more customers per person. Like you may go some places, and this all is part of the marketing episode, but you have to experiment. So you go some places and you realize only one person in 100 in this environment, wherever it is, online or in person, need what I have to sell. Okay. Then you go to another place and you say, wow, this is better. 5 in 100, 10 in 100. And so experimenting with more dense, prospect-dense environments is powerful. And you get better at that as you go along, because you get clearer on your message and you get better at identifying the symptoms, the behaviors, the language, and where to find people that need exactly what you have. And again, you can now see the absolute necessity of having a clear idea of who you serve and what you offer. So getting new customers is one way. And that's the way almost everybody thinks about. I need more customers. I need more customers. Maybe you do and maybe you don't. Another thing to think about is I need more qualified leads. So what if you have 100 leads a month right now and 1 in 100 converts? What if you had 100 leads and 10 in 100 converted? Well, you've multiplied your sales by 10 with the same 100 leads. So it makes sense to up the quality of the leads or people who might need your service. And that's a whole process of identifying where they are, what language they're responding to. And there's all kinds of ways to do that. And it's essential that you learn those. Now, I don't have time here to explain that, because we're talking to thousands of people right this minute who have all kinds of different products and services. But the simple thing is look at competitors who are selling to exactly the same market. What is their language? How is that working? If you're writing a book and you're offering something, go to a bookstore and see in the very section where your book would be, or you think it would be, what's there and what's on offer, what's being taught. What's different about yours? Why is your voice unique? How do you offer products and services differently? I'll give you a perfect example. Lately, I've seen an ad on Facebook a lot that's advertising book writing services or getting your book written. Write your book. You got to write your book. Now, I help people write books, and I love doing it. And I wrote the story arc. Practical and persuasive magic for speakers, authors, and storytellers, and coaches and consultants and all the rest. And so my wife, business partner, my angel, she signed up and watched their introductory hour-long video. And you know what? You know what they're selling? It's easy, no effort. Just do a little tiny thing, and we're going to write a book that's going to sell, make thousands. Well, I've written 20 books, and most of them are Amazon #1 international bestsellers. Yippee. And that's just not true. So if I were going to the bookstore or the market, the internet market, and looking at other people who help people write books, I'm not going to go call out that person and yell at him, but I'm going to take an oppositional stance. And this is another marketing tool that lets you identify who your customer is. I am saying, and I would say, you see all these ads that tell you it's practically effortless to write a book. You practically can do that, and then it's no problem getting your bestseller and getting tens of or thousands or even $10,000, $20,000. Wow, it's easy. And I would say, I see all those ads, and I want to tell you that's not true. They're yanking your chain, they're pulling your leg, they're fooling you, they're lying to you, and they're going to charge you $900 or $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever the price is for a product that'll try to pretend to do that, and they're full of crap. It takes effort, it takes work, it takes dedication and creativity if you're going to produce a book or a product that matters, that's actually going to help people so they come back to you. So you have repeat customers and repeat products. So that is a way, taking an oppositional stance. Anyway, so that's the first thing, finding more clients. Cool. Another way to do it is specializing your products, which allows you to do higher prices. A doctor who's a GP, general practitioner, charges X amount of money. A doctor who's a surgeon charges more. A brain surgeon is more. So as you specialize your products, you can make more money and grow your business. That's number 2. Number 3 is joint ventures. Joint ventures are really simple in principle. I sell book writing services. So do other people. My wife, who runs our publishing company, Red Aussie Media, she has a 100% track record of getting Amazon number one international bestsellers for her clients, my books and books of many clients. I know publishers who do not offer that service. So there is a wonderful joint venture opportunity that those other publishers, and I've already talked to some that are interested, they can say, wow, how much do you charge not for your book writing or publishing help, but just for the bestseller piece? So we break that out and we'll say, okay, we'll charge $2,000 or $2,200 for the Amazon bestseller piece. And they go, okay, cool. I'll sell that as an add-on. If I sell that as an add-on and just bring you the customers, and then we work out a deal. So that's a joint venture where I get to sell a lot more of some product, not the whole thing, but a product that I offer. And I split the revenue with them according to however we agree. And then they don't have to add a product, and I don't have to market for customers for that particular service. So that is a joint venture. I'm offering a product or service and partnering with someone else who is selling my product. The reverse of that is also true, where I sell their products or services to my audience. Now, I meet lots of people because of podcast guests and all the speaking that I do, and I hear what they have to offer, and I'm like, you know what? I absolutely know I can do what they do, but I don't want to market that service. I would rather send people to them for that particular thing. So, and again, there's another thing. I can sell it, I can give it to them, and they already do that service. They're an expert at it, and then they give me a piece of the money because they don't have to market. And I get a piece because I sold it for them. So joint ventures are another powerful way to make money. Now, so those are 3 ways. 1, new customers and or better prospects, which takes, refining your marketing. Number 2, niching down more tightly to more valuable services, like the doctor example. 3, partnering with people, going either way, where you sell overlapping but not competitive products. And the 4th one is new markets and new products. So new products to new markets. That's the most difficult because it requires you to make a choice to add a product or service and then go find people for it. But there are 4 different ways, and the first 3 are the easiest ones. Okay? Those are well-tested, well-tried, well-worn, and they're not overused, but well-used, and they're still used every day and every niche, because they work. Now, it does require you, number 1, to have some kind of a list of people if you're going to do any of the JVs, because you have to be able to, sell both ways. Or you have to have a product or service that they want to do to their list of people, their customers, that's non-competitive. And then you can do one of the 2 that I described. So those are simple, they're straightforward. I've described them quickly because of the length of time that we have, but understanding how to do it with your product and service is something that I can help you do, and I will. Again, go to KellanFluckigerMedia.com and get the link there and get a hold of me. Let's talk, because expanding your customer base, refining your niche, specializing your product, figuring out who overlapping but non-competitive markets are that you can joint venture with, all of those are great ways to grow your business. Now, new markets and new products and services are also possible, but they're only effective, and I'll say that different. They're most effective when you're doing some measure of all 3 of these, because then it's easier, much, much easier to get new products, new markets, which, like I said, are the most difficult, but it's way easier if you're doing these other 3. So those are growth strategies. Okay. Now, I want to talk about another set of ways to increase your customers. If I were talking to you and we were coaching, I would ask you what you're doing right now. Are you networking? How and where are you networking? Is it in person? Is it online? And then the killer question, of course, is what you're doing working? So 90%, I would say 90, not 100, but 90% of people that I talk to that have their own business, either as a side hustle or main hustle, I ask them, are you full? Is your practice full? Are you selling all that you want or all that you can really reasonably accommodate, even if you're selling widgets? You may be able to make or source a certain number. And maybe you're packing and shipping, maybe you're drop shipping, whatever. 90% of them say, no, I'm not full, I need more. So 90% of you listening right now need help with this. I know how to do it. I'm offering you help. If you'll get a hold of me, and only if you'll promise to do the work. I'm not interested in helping people that don't. I turn down clients all the time. People that want, download and double click, you do all the work for me. Not happening. I'm interested in helping people grow, learn, and improve themselves. Like my mission of 300 million people is to help you understand, create wealth and impact in the world by using your gifts, your life experience, your zone of genius, the truth of who you really are. That's what I'm about. Okay? And if that kind of growth is what is calling you and getting over lack of confidence or I don't know how and I'm afraid to do this, if any of that story is in your world, and if it's really time, like if you're tired of losing, if this is a year going into this next year where you say, I have got to level this up, I have got to win, then I'm your guy. I absolutely do it myself and help others. I know how to do it. So again, I invite you, KellanFluckigerMedia.com. Go there and get a hold of me. All right. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of other ways to grow, and that is change how you're marketing. Okay. I'm doing a podcast. That is one way to get well known. Now, podcasts are proliferating. This last election I just saw a thing on TV where one pundit was asking the question, did podcasts change the outcome of the election? Well, maybe they did. It's highly likely. And the reason is because we, the people in the US, Canada, Western world, maybe all over the world, are changing how we get our information. We used to watch TV. There used to be 3 networks, remember, or 4 or 5 in the US. Then there were 4, then there were 5, then there were 10, then there were 50, then there's cable. Now there's 1,000 channels, more specialized. Well, that means there's more division in the watching audience. Then there's YouTube, and then there's Vimeo, and there's now dozens of hosting platforms, and there's Patreon and tons of other places. Then there's proliferation like never before of podcasts on every topic. Like this one's about creating your ultimate life. Some of the ones in the election were whatever they were, that. And that was about exposure and getting your brand out of obscurity. So if you want to grow your business, one of the things to think about is, okay, how many people know my name or my brand? I need to get my brand out of obscurity. And I'll tell you some secrets. It's not getting a cooler website. Nobody's going to see it. There's 1 trillion websites. It's not getting a bunch of cooler graphics. It is showing up in the right places. Now, one of the tools we have available to us right now that is available to everybody and only suitable for some in terms of the business you have in the audience is there's all kinds of social media, right? There's Twitter or X now and Facebook in its various iterations and Instagram and Truth Social. And, there's a boatload of others, LinkedIn, and showing up in those places effectively is another opportunity. Medium, places to put articles, being featured in magazines and Forbes and CEO and Entrepreneur. All of those are possibilities to increase your visibility, to get out of obscurity. So which possibility makes sense to increase your visibility, to get out of obscurity, to increase your profitability? Yeah, I created those words on purpose. Out of obscurity, increase your visibility, and get out of obscurity, I forgot what the fourth one was. Increase your visibility to increase your profitability. There was a fourth one in there, but whatever. That chain of events, the path to it for you depends on who you are and what you sell, right? Who you are and what you sell, where the audience you're trying to reach is. Okay, and there's platforms like I mentioned, Medium. LinkedIn is really pushing newsletters right now, and who knows for how long. So understanding who your audience is and then doing some work to find out where they are is key to that growth strategy. So the growth strategy isn't go use social media. It's figure out where your prospects are, which of those tools make sense to use, and then get help to understand the algorithm and use it effectively. People just put a bunch of crap up on social and hope it works. It's not going to work. There's too many zillions of people, and the wrong message in the wrong place is going to be invisible, and you'll stay in obscurity. Right? Okay. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is speaking. Again, it's available to the whole world now. Okay. I was just on a podcast with somebody in Vietnam. Okay. And it's expat in Vietnam. And I've been on one in Europe, and I've been in one in Australia, and I've been in one in Mexico, and all over the place. And I'm on one in India. I just did a podcast for somebody in London. Okay. So here's the question. Which of these matters for you? Well, I don't know, but we can figure it out. We can figure it out. So again, I invite you, unless you're crushing it, and if you're crushing it, then you should be sharing your tools and processes and excitement, because there's more than enough money moving and more than enough market share for everybody to get rich. If you're not crushing it, it's because you're manipulating the wrong levers, or you have an internal story that keeps you in procrastination, self-sabotage, fear, those negative things that keep us from moving forward. So here is your final invitation. Got to get clear on your market. You can increase your market share by finding out where they are and then going to those places virtually and in person. Then, as you're there, learning to be more effective, more targeted messaging, clear, unambiguous products and services that you offer. Then you have all of the JV strategies, which go both ways, depending on market overlap and not competition. Then you have getting up out of obscurity. Up out of obscurity raises your profile, raises the possibility that people are going to see you, the right people, increasing your profitability, and of course, and then makes you, make more money, be more successful. So then on top of that, you have podcasts, you have newsletters. All of those things are more widely available than ever before in the world. The internet's getting faster. Our ability to put stuff places, to do video streaming, all of those things are possible and being done every day. I know several people who have YouTube channels who make good money doing that. But again, they've been really clear about who they are, what they offer, and then regularly offering that kind of content to their target market. Now, my expertise is on both helping you identify your superpower, call it your triple helix, the thing that is special, unusual, unique, powerful, invincible about you. I can help you do that. If you don't know what that is, get a hold of me. I can help you figure out quickly who that matters to, who cares that you have that capability, that superpower. We can figure out quickly how to reach them and whether or not the messaging you're using right now is reaching them by looking at what you're doing and how effective it is, and then doing some testing to see where else you could be and what messaging you should bring. I am also the ultimate alchemist at eliminating the stories that keep all of us from doing the best we can. Fear. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Who would listen? I don't know where to start. I don't know how to this. I'm afraid of that. I don't have any support. Everything around me is going to shit, so I can't do it right now. It's not the right time. There's 100 other ways to say that. I'm not trying to say them all, just a few. I want you to slow down for a minute and I invite you to look inside your heart. When you look at yourself, do you believe in you? Really? Like you might say, well, I know I can help people, or I can do this, or I can sell that expertise. Do you believe that? Do you believe you can make a big difference in the world and make all the cash you want? Do you believe that? If you don't, you're fighting an uphill battle. And that belief system is the first thing that needs to change. Because when we poison our marketing, our actions, our interactions, our conversations and everything with insecurity and uncertainty, when we poison it that way, it won't work. People can feel that inauthenticity. So the first thing, the very first, and we can do them simultaneously, but the very first thing is to change that belief, because the truth is you're an infinite being. You have the experiences you have had. You're unique, you're powerful, and the desire of your heart is within your reach. That's the truth. You may or may not be doing what leverages that, what takes advantage of that. And I can help you if you want it. There's no reason you can't have everything you want. I invite you one last time. Go to KellanFluckigerMedia.com. Check out what's there, but find the email to get a hold of me and let's talk, because the world needs your voice. I want to hear your story. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I want to, because my goal is 300 million people to help you, them, but you in particular, to create your ultimate life.
Never hold back and you'll never ask why. Open your heart and this time around.
Right here, right now. Your opportunity for massive growth is right in front of you. Every episode gives you practical tips and practices that will change everything. If you want to know more, go to KellanFluckigerMedia.com. If you want more free tools, go here, YourUltimateLife.ca. Subscribe. Share.
Stand with your heart in the sky and your feet